Hello everybody, I am so happy that I finally am filming this video because this is something that I hear and see online and read about, watch videos of, see Facebook posts about, that I am ready to finally provide my input, explain maybe a thing or two to the people who just don't get it. This is my thoughts on things that millennials have ruined. And in case you don't know, millennials are the folks born between 1980 until the present time. I don't give a damn. I just know that it applies to me. And it's important for us to talk about this because it seems like the older people, the older generation, I guess Generation X or the baby boomers, they seem to have a hard time grasping this. So if anybody in my audience feels offended by this or can relate to this, you're probably part of the problem or you probably caused it. At least hear me out because I feel like what I have to say is something that some other people may be able to relate to. And some of this I know from discussing it with other fellow millennials. So without further ado with this intro, let's dive right into it. And the first thing I gotta talk about is that older people complain about us not being spenders, aka consumers. Let me ask you this. How can you be a spender if you don't have resources, if you don't have money to spend? Because let me tell you something. If there is something that I can assure you right now, is that I, along with pretty much everybody who I know who is not of the privileged class, we did not inherit a fortune, or we do not come from a family of rich people, we are struggling. Stuff is expensive. People got student debt. I did not go to school to avoid the student debt because otherwise I would be in a worse shape than I currently am. You cannot expect for your businesses to be doing well if the younger generation is not getting hired. If we're not getting hired, we don't have money to spend. Not only that, but when we do get hired, we get hired during a period in the economy where there is recession or whatever. All we keep seeing is inflation, prices going up, up, up. But guess what? Our paychecks do not grow at the rate that prices go up. It's not only one thing that goes up. Your groceries are going up by a few cents. No, it's everything. Restaurants, grocery store, bills, electronics, everything keeps going up. Our income does not grow as steadily as inflation. In addition, just because we are drowning in student debt, which means that we acquired that from going to college and studying and getting a degree and supposedly becoming capable and skilled to hold a position in your company, that doesn't mean that we are landing those jobs because of your inflation, we are competing against the generation that was supposed to have been retired by now, who, as much as they have worked all of their lives, they themselves don't have money to count on living comfortably. They cannot deplete their entire retirement savings because who's going to take care of them the older they get? So they have to keep working just a little longer so that they can comfortably retire and thus maybe cede to us those skilled positions that we need that pay well, and so that we can obtain experience. Because if you pay attention, every time you look for someone to hire, you expect a decade of experience when we are only in our 20s or our early 30s, which means that by the time that we were supposed to be getting this experience that you so demand, we were children, illegal to work. Additionally, if you have student debt, you just cannot expect for us to spend at the rate that you want for us to spend. In my case, my student debt is my car loan because I needed a car. I needed a reliable car. So that's the big debt that I decided to get into right now so that I can be guaranteed to make it to work on time, because I cannot be having a car that breaks down on me. It's just dangerous to be driving a vehicle that you don't know its history or what's going to go wrong with it. So I decided to just get that out of the way. You guys are accusing us of not getting married. Well, do you know why we don't get married? Because that stuff costs money. And what did I just explain about money? We don't have it. If you want for us to get married, maybe, just maybe, don't turn everything into a business. That's what it feels like. Living is you have to drop a lot of money that you don't have just to be able to make it. On the note of not getting married, why are you going to get married if you won't be able to afford a house to provide for your spouse and your kids? You are barely making it on your own. Like, I am struggling to live day after day. Imagine if I have many other little people depending upon me and also a spouse counting on my support to accomplish things in life. All of that stuff takes planning and time and money if you want to get into that tradition in a responsible manner. It's not, oh yeah, let's get married and we got married. Like, marriage does not solve our problems. Back in the day when you guys were getting married, you lived in a period that was more prosperous. You didn't really have to worry about how you're going to go to school, how you're going to pay for school, having a job pretty much guaranteed, any kind of job that you could live decently. Nowadays, that is just not the case. And you yourself complain about the prices nowadays compared to how prices were in your time. That should give you an idea of what us just getting started must be like. Versus you're a veteran at work, a veteran in life in general. We expect for you to have extra money, but you yourself are finding it hard to get by. What chances do you think we have? Not having kids. I pretty much just explained it. Tiny humans need care and medical assistance, everything, just like big humans do. And big humans aren't getting it. Why should we bring tiny humans to suffer like that if we cannot maintain them? We can bring a bunch of tiny humans and generate a whole lot of social problems when, they keep getting sick. We cannot take them to the doctor. We keep getting sued. We get put in jail. We cannot be productive at work because we have to stay at home taking care of kids because daycare is expensive. Can you really not piece that together? Can you really not think that? Or do you think we are just pulling this out of our rear that we don't have money? The evidence is there. All you gotta do is consult some of us youngsters out there and we will tell you what our reality is. You cannot just call us the entitled generation and the me generation. Of course I'm going to act entitled from time to time. I work hard for my money. I work hard for the little bit of things that I get to own. So it's, like I said, little things. I spent a lot of time sacrificing myself physically to some extent to be able to make some money. It's not even ensuring that I can get everything that I need. Making ends meet is pretty hard. Unless you have something nice to say or a way to provide support, do not criticize us because you just don't know what our times are like. I am pretty sure that when you were our age, the preceding generation was saying crap about you. So think of that, but double or triple that effect. That's us. And guess what? Those are the consequences of stuff that you guys started. Because you are the guys who own the companies. You are the guys who have the money and the age and the experience for the most part, because I'm not saying that every old person is set in life. Like, God knows that my mom, she's a baby boomer, but she is in no way or shape or form ready to retire. Not buying houses. Again, where is the money? If we're not getting our jobs that pay well because we don't have the 10 years of experience and we also have student debt to add on top of getting a house? Are you kidding me? Where is the money for that? Where? Even if we were to land good paying jobs, there's other stuff that we have to worry about before we can even attempt to consider such an investment. This is stuff that you have to think about and be responsible with. You cannot just be like, oh yeah, I can afford a monthly payment of $1,000 on a house. This is long term. And don't even get me started on the interest rates of everything that you get indebted on. Think about it. It's better to be a responsible person than to get involved in debt that you won't be able to keep up with and handle.